Alright, this is John Colo with DiscountJuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you, and I'm so excited. This is my first trade show since the whole world situation thing has changed for like the last 2 years. I missed this trade show, but every opportunity I get, I like to go out to the trade shows, the largest houseware show in the entire United States, to check out, find new products that I want to share with you guys before they come out. And maybe some of these products might not even come out. And I do this to, number one, stay abreast of the greatest and latest products that can help you live a healthier lifestyle and include more fresh fruits and fresh vegetables in your life, which are the most powerful healing foods on the planet that unfortunately most Americans simply do not eat enough of. So I'm here at the Inspired Home Show, and this is the InspiredHomeShow.com, Chicago, Illinois, three-day trade show. It's a little bit less busy this year than prior years before the world situations and things going on in the world, but I'm happy to say here it's a great show, and there's lots of new products that I want to show you guys today. So let's go ahead and head into the main exhibit hall where they have all the small kitchen appliances, and I can show you guys some updates on what I've learned from some of my manufacturers that I talked to this trip. So now I'm here inside the trade show, and basically it's like these 3 large exhibit halls that I basically walked up and down every single aisle looking for all the best products of processed fruits and vegetables so that you guys can eat them. And I'm going to cover as many of them as I can in this episode. There's not too many this time because a lot of the trade show, there's empty spots, and you know, a lot of people didn't show up in mass because it is the first time they've had this event since, like, for 2 years they haven't had it due to the world events going on. So I'm glad they're back, and I hope they continue to have this event every single year. So I've talked to all my major manufacturers and had several meetings with people in the industry during my stay. Most of the booths I'll be filming have some new product to share with you guys, and some don't. So I spent some good time at Omega and Excalibur to talk to the president of marketing and all this kind of stuff, learning about their new products. They're going to be soon sending me some of their new juicers. Some of their new juicers are maybe more at a lower price point, although they haven't had any new updates in some of their high-end juicers or any new juicers coming out anytime soon. Maybe later things will come out, but they're maybe doing a more of a line refresh, bringing in new color schemes that may excite some people. On the Excalibur side, not a lot of things there. They may be doing, once again, another color refresh, but keeping the same basic products at this time from what I am being told. Now, other than Omega, lots of companies are here, and I'm going to show you guys their new products that they have. Keep in mind, guys, some of these may not come out, and some of these may come out. Some of these companies I'll be covering, I currently offer, and some of them I may be soon offering after I test them to ensure that they are good products that I think will be able to help you guys out eat more fresh fruits and vegetables. So the first exhibit I want to share with you guys is actually Tribest, who makes healthy living easy. I've been covering the Tribest booth for many years now, and at this event they have 2 new products that I want to share with you guys, plus some old ones that I want to let you guys know are best sellers at Discount Juicers. So let's go up to Tribest and learn more about them. So no visit to the Tribest booth would be complete without me sharing with you guys our best-selling Tribest items at DiscountJuicers.com. Of course, my favorite item from Tribest that I like the most personally is the Dynapro Vacuum Blender. This is a commercial quality vacuum blender that you guys can buy and use for your home. In addition, besides just vacuum blending and making high quality smoothies, preserving more polyphenols than traditional blenders that add in and mix in a lot of air, because this removes the excess oxygen before you blend, which makes a huge difference, guys. You could also do what I call vacuum juicing, and I gotta thank Tom Dixon, who opened my eyes to vacuum juicing, because before that I would sell juicers and I was not aware that you could vacuum juice using a vacuum blender, so you do minimal oxidative damage to the cell walls and minimal air infiltration as you are making your juices. Links down below to where I use the Dynapro to make vacuum juices, whether it's an antioxidation green juice, to fruit juices, to vegetable juices, or even a higher quality celery juice with higher yields than any other juicer. Once again, links down below. I like to use the Dynapro. It is optimized for vacuum juicing due to 2 main features that I like that I haven't found on any other vacuum blender to this point. Number one, you got the single button pulse feature, which you press the button once, it'll pulse and go on, off, on, off, automatically so that you don't have to. I press that button once, and then I'll generally press the blend button once. That'll run the blender another 30 seconds. So 2 button punches, runs a blender for 60 seconds. You could leave the room while it's blending, come back, and you have a blended mixture that then you put through Alexa's nut milk bags. Once again, links down below in my video so you guys can see how to vacuum juice to make the highest yield, most nutrients of any juice ever made. Now, keep aware, guys, like, you can't do 100% carrots in this method. Carrots don't have enough water content, right? So in that reason, that's why I like to use the Green Star Pro that I'll be sharing with you guys next. But otherwise, I find I use vacuum juicing as much as I possibly can if I have a recipe that is designed for vacuum juicing. And the other thing I really like about the Dynapro is that it has a full 15-year warranty, which is the longest warranty in the whole blender industry. Even like the top name blenders usually have only a 7 or 8 year warranty. This almost doubles that. So literally, this is the last blender or vacuum blender you'll need to buy. Over onto the Green Star Pro. This is our best-selling twin gear juicer at Discount Juicers. It has 100% stainless steel gears, and this is a juicer I would recommend to you guys if you guys want to juice things like carrots. You want to do carrot-based recipes, carrot and apple, carrot with greens, root vegetables with greens. The Green Star Pro is the best. It gets in there with its twin gears and grinds up and extracts more nutrients due to the twin augers that are 100% stainless steel and the far infrared and magnetic technology that's in there. Plus it has an outlet adjusting knob that keeps spring tension on your pulp that does not allow it to come out as the machine presses and squeezes out your pulp for you, so you don't have to do it by hand like you would with the Dynapro. And of course, also on the Green Star Pro, it has a full 15-year warranty as well. TriBest has the longest warranties in the industry to assure that your guy is going to buy a quality product. This is unlike a lot of other products that are on the market that you are literally disposable because they have a short warranty and they're literally programmed to break shortly after that warranty because they're low quality machines. I want you guys to spend the money it takes to buy a high quality unit so that you can make the changes in life that you deserve, to lose that weight, to get in better health, to ward off all the different crazy viruses and flus and bacterias out there in the world so you can have a strong and healthy immune system. So now I want to share with you guys the 2 new products from TriBest. It is actually from their Shine line, which is they come out with compact kitchen tools for smaller families and smaller spaces that in many cases are great for beginners and actually non-beginners as well. So the first product I want to show you guys is this guy right here, the Rapid Cold Brew, that uses vacuum extraction technology to quickly cold brew your coffees and teas to get a nice rich extract in shorter amount of time than you would normally be able to do using the power of vacuum. And you guys know that I'm a big fan of the vacuum appliance. It literally sucks out and pulls vacuum to suck out all the different nutrients and polyphenols and different compounds in the coffees or teas that you're brewing. So let me show you guys how easy this is to use. So first we're gonna go ahead and pop the top up by pressing the button. We're gonna go ahead and take the extractor cone out and we're gonna go ahead and unscrew it, and there's a built-in sieve in there so you can put loose leaf teas and ground up coffees. And today I actually have some loose leaf tea in here, like some hibiscus tea, so we're just gonna go ahead and dump that in there. That's equivalent of about 2 tea bags worth. We're gonna go ahead and screw on the top. Next, we're gonna go ahead and put in the water. You could put a total of 5 cups, from 3 to 5 cups of water in there. So we're gonna put 5 cups of water in there. We're gonna go ahead and snap in the brewer and simply close the lid. And now the next thing you gotta do, this product is super simple to use. There's simply 4 buttons, and these buttons will make different brews of your teas or coffee. So a light extract, and this is all based on time. I think that's around 8 minutes. You got a medium extract that's 10 minutes, and then you got a strong extract that's a longer amount of time, and then if you want the full strength, that's like runs a 45-minute brew cycle under vacuum. So I don't have a lot of time today. I want to be done relatively quickly, so we're just gonna go ahead and press the medium brew. And once you press it, it'll light up. And now what's happening is this is sucking the water through the vacuum and sucking water into this chamber. And then it's gonna release the water. So it's sucking and then taking off the vacuum. So it basically pulls, you can see the water level go down because it's sucking the water in there through the tea leaves to get the rich extract, and then it basically reduces it, and then the water level goes up. You could slowly see some of the red pigments and the red coloring coming out of the hibiscus tea. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and let this run a little bit while we show you the next Shine product. This next juicer I wanna share with you guys I'm kind of excited about. The price point will be under $200. There's no real official name for it, but I'm gonna call it the Big Easy Juicer. Why is it the Big Easy? Well, because it has a big 3-inch wide feed chute, so it makes feeding produce in there easy. In addition, it'll also allow you to do small batch juicing. So literally, you can fill up this hopper with apples, with pre-cut celery, let the machine run, and it'll work through the produce at its own speed so it doesn't jam up or clog like other vertical juicers can do. It'll spit out your juice and spit out your pulp. Super quick and super easy. This machine does run at a low and slow 47 RPMs to maximize the nutrition quality in your juice, and unlike other vertical augers that have a rotating wiping blade, this machine does not, so it's not going to aerate your juice as much. Now the biggest thing that makes this juicer easy is not even just how easy it is to use, but how easy it is to clean. I want to show you guys how easy this guy will be to clean. Super simple, super easy. We're gonna go ahead and, there's only literally 3 parts to clean when you're done using this juicer. Let me show you guys what they are. Number 1, you got this piece. This is just the feed chute body with the flip gate, so you could dump in whole apples. You could also use that chute to, you know, put in whole carrots. You could also use this as a kind of funnel to kind of funnel in pre-cut celery and even pre-cut leafy greens. And there's only one piece to clean here because this has an integrated juicing screen right here. Now, you know, one of my comments on this machine is that there should be more screen area on the bottom of this screen and all the way around, or at least on around the bottom. There is not. So while this is a lot easier to clean because there is less screen area, you will also realize lesser yields than, say, their current Shine model, which is actually our best-selling compact small vertical juicer. And much like the Shine juicer, this will also have a full 3-year warranty, which is a lot longer than warranty on other similarly priced machines. Now that's one part you need to clean right there. The next part is simply the auger. This is a unique design on this auger. Super simple, super easy to clean. The kind of rake on this auger reminds me of the Nama J2, like the processing blade that kind of gets in there and is there to chop up big produce items such as apples into smaller ones until it works down the gear that then literally crushes and squeezes and presses out all your juice. In addition, on the bottom of this auger, I like that it's nice and open so you can get your finger in there to clean it nice and easily. And that's the second part you'll need to clean, 1, 2. And then the final part you'll need to clean is the juicing bowl. And I don't know too many juicing bowls that are easier than this one to clean, because literally you could just spray this out with water. There's really no nooks and crannies in here. It's basically almost flat on the bottom with a little inset that you'll need to clean. And then you have this little flap here on the bottom that keeps back pressure on the pulp, so you get it completely wrung out and drier. And then the pulp comes out here, and then you got the flip top here to make no drips on your counter when you're done, when you close this. I always recommend you guys keep this open during your juicing process, and you will achieve higher yields. I'll show you guys how easy this is to assemble. So to assemble, you gotta just go ahead and put this plug in all the way. Super simple, super easy. And just put this on the machine. Next, we're gonna go ahead and drop in that auger. Goes right down the middle. Assemble, super simple. And then you just got this main feed chute with the integrated screen. Drop it in, turn it on, click it in place, and now you are all set and ready to juice. When they introduce it, it'll be introduced in 2 colors, matte white and the kind of like matte gray here. And you are seeing these juicers on my channel first. This is the first time this has been seen in the world, the first time I've seen it. These are the pre-production samples. They didn't even have the Shine brand name on them yet. And of course, you know, some of the design elements are subject to change because they may be different when they actually come out. They are expected to come out this summer 2022 if there are no shipping delays. That has been getting a lot of shipping delays in my industry. All right, so it's been about 10 minutes and look at the color of the water now. It's completely red because all the nutrients from the hibiscus and those anthocyanins that cause the red pigment color was leached out under the vacuum processing in only 10 minutes. The next thing is we just switch this little lever to the open. It opens a little valve and all the tea is now draining into your glass pitcher right down below. All right, once it's fully drained out, you're gonna go ahead and put it back to lock so you're ready for your next load. It's also gonna shut the valve so it turns off the drips. And check this out, guys. We got a nice, brilliant red colored tea. Gonna pour myself a nice glass. Woo! All right, it's been a while since I've had any tea, and here's the thing, guys. I know a lot of you guys don't like drinking water. Water tastes so plain, it tastes so bland. This is the best way to drink more water. Why? Because now you're infusing anthocyanins and other nutrients that you're seeping out from the tea into the water under vacuum. Wow, actually that's quite good. So the taste is lemony, it's quite good. It's not a super strong brew because I only ran it for like the 10-minute cycle. If we did it on the hardcore, like the Strongs, full strength, it'd probably be a lot more hardcore, but this is really a nice trick to do so that you guys could consume more water and stay hydrated. One of the things I like to do when I'm traveling often is just take a tea bag and throw it in my bottle of water, shake it up, and let it sit in my bag all day to slowly brew out. With the Shine Rapid Brew Extractor under vacuum, you can minimize the time so you can extract your cold brew teas and coffees without the heat to keep more of the beneficial nutrients. So now I want to show you guys the best juicing exhibitor here at the show, and it's actually the Kuvings booth. They have the best and largest booth showing the most products of all the different companies that I deal with. They have many new innovative products. 2 of them are hopefully soon to be out later this year, and a few more prototype models that I will share with you guys, and you will not see these anywhere else. So let's check out Kuvings and show you guys their all new amazing juicer that is probably gonna be the best vertical juicer out there for juicing things like celery and carrots. All right, now I wanna show you guys the new REVO830. This is basically the Kuvings next generation of their whole slow juicer, and this is the best one yet. To be honest with you, I wasn't a big fan of the EVO820, but this takes the EVO820 to the next level. And of course, Kuvings is known for having the world's first whole slow juicer with that wide feed chute that makes juicing whole apples and things easier. And on their new Revo, they even made it better because it has the largest feed chute of any of their home juicers. Now, the reason why I like slow juicing is because of this. You know, here at 9 a.m. today, they made this juicer in a high-speed centrifugal juicer. This is an inexpensive juicer that you would buy at your local big box store or online. It's the best-selling kind of juicers. And you can look at that, look at that. Does that look appetizing? Does that make you want to drink it? Like, oh, look at that, it's all separated, full of air bubbles, right? When there's air bubbles, there's more oxidation. When there's more oxidation, that means the oxygen-sensitive nutrients are degraded. Plus, in my opinion, the centrifugal juicers don't do a good job of fully extracting, especially the nutrients out of the most important vegetables to drink, the leafy greens, right? Over here, you can look at the slow juice made at the same time, 9 a.m. You can see this is totally liquid, totally solid. And let's compare this side by side for you guys so you guys can see the difference. You guys see the difference? I want you really to stop using the high-speed machines that, in my opinion, make a very inferior juice compared to a slow juicer. Of course, this is tomatoes, and you can see the deeper, richer pigments and colors, probably more lycopene extracted. So this is the all-new REVO830 juicer that I'm introducing for you guys here. First, you haven't seen it anywhere else online, and actually this is the second time I saw it because I got a preview of this a couple months ago before all you guys did, and I got to test it a little bit, and I gotta say I was impressed. Actually, I do have a sample. I need to start testing that I already have at home so I can give some feedback so that they can even improve it. And this is what I like about Kuvings, right? Kuvings will make sure and they refine their products before they, will put them in distribution to make sure they have it fully refined and it's gonna be the best operating juicer for you before you get it. So this is the all-new Revo, and they've done a few things different than their other models. The main difference is they got a secondary feed chute. So of course they got this main drop-down chute, and this drop-down chute is 3.5 inches. A lot of their other juicers maybe 3 inches or 3.2 inches. This is a full 3.5 inches because they listen to customers that basically, we would buy apples and the apples won't fit in the Kuvings because the feed chute's too small, so they made the feed chute bigger instead of having people to buy the smaller apples. Of course, when I buy apples, I try to get the smaller ones because they're generally less expensive than the larger ones. Now, the other thing they listened to is they saw a lot of people getting into juicing things like celery and carrots. And traditionally, celery is known to basically clog up vertical juicers due to the fact that the celery strings don't get pre-cut up optimally in an auger-style juicer. But with the Revo, they specifically designed this juicer to juice things like celery and carrots with an accessory spout so that you feed in the celery, whole piece of celery, uncut. So this is like the world's first. Other vertical juicers, you have to cut your celery. With this, you just put them in whole, and the secret is in the auger. So the auger design here has a special auger design that basically modulates before it goes into the bottom. It basically will pre-cut your celery as you put it in this top feed chute, so it optimizes the feeding speed that you can put things in. It won't allow you to feed things too quickly, and secondarily, it will pre-cut the celery so that you don't have to. They've also designed this specific hole to work excellent on carrots so that you do not have to pre-cut them either, so that too much carrot won't go into the juicer and cause it to stop due to the excess amount of torque needed to sometimes crunch up hard, fat carrots. And if you notice that hole there, that hole is nice and large, so I'm looking forward to sticking in some really nice, large, fat, organic carrots that I buy at Costco to see how it's gonna work. Other than that, you know, once again, the auger is a fully new redesigned shape, so they got their traditional auger, but then they got the top readjusted for the celery and the carrots. And then their juicing screen pretty much looks like their traditional juicing screen. And of course, you have the wiping blade, and I really like the Kuvings design on the juicing screen because basically all the waste when you're done juicing will be in the screen, not in the juicing bowl, due to they have a seal here at the bottom of the juicing screen. It's like maybe even they improved the size of the outlet port here on the juicing screen, but I'll have to double check and compare it to the previous model. Of course, on the juicing bowl, this is probably my favorite juicing bowl to clean. Why? Because there are basically no nooks and crannies in this juicing bowl. It's fully flat on the bottom, super simple, super easy to clean. There's nice large passageways with a cutout here, so you can easily get your finger in there to dislodge pulp. Some of the first generation and even some of the second generation juicers have a really tight port right here, so I can't get in there to clean. And of course, they got their smart cap that allows you to do mixing in the juicer, which I don't personally recommend, but it also prevents drips on your countertop when you're done juicing. On the motor here, they've improved this motor, so although this motor base looks similar to their previous models, this has an all-new 200-watt motor, and you're thinking, wait a second, John, their old models have a 240-watt motor. 240 is more than 200 watts, so those motors are better. Well, actually, those motors are actually less efficient, and actually this motor has 20% improved torque and horsepower, and more importantly, it's more efficient, but more importantly, it has a greater, longer runtime, although this is still only rated at a 30-minute duty cycle. In addition, what I really like, I like the color. They have a nice white color, nice heavy duty. This is like really heavy. They build this motor in Korea in their factory. Many Korean juicers use imported motors. But the other thing they've done to make it more convenient for you guys is instead of having the button, the on and off switch on the back, like most vertical juicers, they've actually moved the button, and it's a nice large button, to the side to make it more easy to access. So I love this a lot. Of course, assembly is super easy on the REVO820. Just take the whole top set, drop this in. You could then take your screen and bowl assembly, line up the red dot with the red dot here, drops right in. And then we're gonna go ahead and take our auger and just drop that in too, rotate it down. I really like this top grip. It allows you to like grip the assembly really easily. And we're gonna take our top feed chute with the red dot, line it up with the red dot. On the open, turn it to close, and you are all ready and set to juice. And actually it looks like they're all ready and set up for me to do some sample juicing for you guys, to show you guys how it works up in their little demonstration area. So now I want to show you guys actually juicing in the REVO830 juicer. We got a white one here, and we got a gray one here. I don't know what colors are gonna be out, but maybe these colors will be out. Hopefully summer this year, 2022, provided that there's no shipping delays, because that's been a big problem in the industry here. The other thing I really like about the Kuvings is that they make cleaning easier, reducing your cleaning time on your juicing screen, which frankly is the hardest and most difficult part to clean on any juicer. And they have a screen cleaning tool that will reduce your screen cleaning time that you can just put on and brush. And of course, with the REVO830, you also get the full host of different options. So you got the smoothie or coarse screen, so you can make smoothies in your juicer. In addition, you have the solid screen, the solid cone for making things like frozen fruit sorbets, and you get a bunch of other cleaning brushes so you can get in all the different little access points of the juicer to clean it really easily. So now I want to show you guys how easy it is to juice celery in the REVO830 juicer without pre-cutting your celery. Super simple, super easy. Number one step, turn it on button on the side. Take your celery and just drop it in. You don't want to use the pusher. You want to let the machine auto feed itself so that you don't have to. If you start pushing the celery and you're going to jam it in there too fast, because what's happening as the celery goes around, it auto cuts all the fibers up so that you don't have to pre-cut it, and then the juice comes out. Once again, this is a slow juicer. It's not happening really fast, but because it's a slow juicer, you're going to get a higher quality juice that won't have that separation as much as the high-speed juicers that I showed you earlier. Once that piece goes in, you go ahead and then put a next piece, right? If you're super daring, maybe you shouldn't try this at home. You might want to try to put 2 pieces and see what happens. Will it work on 2 pieces? Looks like it's juicing that celery just fine. Now let's check the pulp as it comes out. So you can see the pulp is coming out, flowing pretty easily, not getting clogged up. We're gonna go ahead and grab some of this pulp. And we're gonna check this pulp out, and look, you can't see any large fibers. All the fibers and the strings are broken up. So now what does this mean? This means that this will not clog up and jam the juicer like some other juicers. I've really jammed the original Nama Vitality 5800 so bad so that I couldn't even take the top apart. And with the Kuvings, that should not happen if you properly feed the celery, and as I just did. Plus, unlike any other juicer, this will include a special filter wrench for emergency use only should you jam up the juicer so that you can't take it apart with just your normal drip string. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and try this straight celery juice made in the REVO830. Look at this. Woo! Nice tall glass of celery made in no time with minimal effort on my part. Just stick the celery in there, let it work, come back, you got a nice glass so that you can do the medical medium celery protocol. I know many of you guys are on, and I've heard lots of testimonials. Many of you guys are getting a lot of good results from. Nothing better than straight celery juice in the morning made with the REVO830. Now I want to let you guys know that the REVO830 will juice a lot more than just celery, including things like carrots. We're going to go ahead and drop a carrot in there. Actually, this is a nice fat wide carrot. Look at that. No pre-cutting necessary. The machine with the automatic feed chute will pre-cut things like carrots and celery, and probably to some extent some leafy greens too. I really want to try this with Swiss chard. We're going to go ahead and open the spout. Accepting the carrot, and now check this out. We're gonna try a large apple. This will not fit in any other slow juicer because it is so large. I mean, this is pushing the 3.5-inch diameter. I don't even know if it's gonna fit in here. Let's see. Oh, look at that, it fit in there. Nice and tight. It's basically chunking up the apple and juicing it on up. Say we wanna do apple carrot, right? We can just drop a carrot in there at the same time, kind of let it process as it's finishing up the apple. And then in addition, something I want you guys to add to all your juices is the ginger. We got pre-cut ginger here, very important. I always like to pre-cut the ginger before adding it. We're gonna just go ahead and drop that in the little chute there. So we're gonna get some apple, carrot, ginger juice. Don't put too much ginger because it's really gonna be strong and you probably won't like it. All right, so it's just finishing up that carrot, and I'm gonna go ahead and get to try my apple, carrot, ginger juice made in the REVO830. Turn that baby off, get my glass here, and pour in the fresh juice. Fresh juice is probably one of the healthiest things you guys can drink because literally it concentrates the power and breaks down those cell walls so that you can get better absorption and faster absorption of the beneficial nutrients, including those beta carotenes. It's good for your eyes in the carrots. That's good. There's a slight amount of pulp in there. I have to compare and real test in the future to see, but it's I think a lower level of pulp than maybe their previous model. I'm not sure, gotta test that. Juice tastes good, nice ginger taste in my mouth. I think they got a real winner with the REVO830, and I'm gonna say this in the video, if you guys are considering an EVO820, I mean, I'm gonna tell you guys should wait for the REVO830. They might not like me saying this, but to me, this machine is a significant improvement over their current model. So next I want to share with you guys the all-new commercial Kuvings vacuum blender, and this ain't it. Kuvings was the first in the world to have the world's first vacuum blender with a sound enclosure when it came out many years ago for the home. And this is their home model, and to be honest with you guys, I did use this originally when it came out and it was the best of its day. But the issue I had with it personally, and some other customers have reported back to me, is that the capacity is not that large because the maximum fill line is approximately at 40.5 ounces, which is fairly small for a vacuum blender. If you filled it too high, then the liquid may get into the vacuum motor, which is definitely not a good thing. They've made a lot of improvements since it originally came out to have some built-in protections, and it does have a sound enclosure that you actually have to just literally pull off manually yourself, put it back on. And this is still a good piece for the home, but I'm so glad they're now coming out with the world's first commercial vacuum blender with a sound enclosure with automatic vacuum and closing and opening capabilities. This thing is completely amazing, so let me show you guys that next. So you guys just saw how slow juicing can make a difference in the quality of your juices, but also vacuum blending can make a difference of the quality of your smoothies. So here, once again, they got an ordinary blender that blends under normal atmospheric conditions, like a Vitamix or like a Blendtec, or like basically any blender you would buy, because vacuum blenders are a rare breed. Most of the companies here at the trade show have actually discontinued their vacuum blender line, including one of the latest that I just learned about. New Wave is no longer gonna have their vacuum blender either. So it's like all these, only the small companies that really have a commitment to people's health, that know that vacuum blending is a very small niche, but people that really gravitate to vacuum blending and start doing it, they're basically, once you go vac, you never go vac, is what I like to say, because once you vacuum blend and you understand and taste and experience the difference, you don't want to traditionally blend anymore, and this message has not caught on enough to the general public. Anyways, this is a standard traditional blended smoothie. You can see it has massive separation. This was done at 9 a.m. and here's a vacuum blended smoothie. Significantly less separation, also a greater color. To me, this looks a bit brown, like it's browning, like you cut open an apple, it starts to oxidize, nutrition is lost. There's actually a scientific study done with this very blender. I'll be sharing with you guys how nutrients over time are better preserved in a vacuum blender than a traditional blender. And that's just the amazing difference it can make. I mean, you guys all know about, like, if you cut open an apple, it turns brown. Well, the same thing, in an ordinary blender, you're gonna have more oxygen in there to basically cause the browning of bananas and other ingredients. And under a vacuum blender, the majority of the oxygen has been removed so that you have a higher quality, better tasting product with more nutrition, as proven by scientific studies. The nutrients that are affected by vacuum blending are things like the oxygen sensitive nutrients, such as the antioxidants and oxygen sensitive polyphenols. So this is the world's first commercial automatic blender with automatic sound enclosure. I've never seen an automatic sound enclosure ever. What does that mean? That means this top comes down and goes up automatic without you having to lift it up. When you want to start the blender, you do a one-touch button. It starts up automatically. It pulls a vacuum, it blends, and then the timer lifts up, and you're just ready. So it's like so amazing. Now I will tell you guys, the pricing has not been announced on this machine yet. And just trying to get the pricing out of Kuvings has been crazy, and I haven't been able to even get anywhere on the pricing. Like, I don't even know, they won't tell me. So all I can say is this is what I believe. I believe the pricing will be comparable to high-end Blendtecs and Vitamixes with sound enclosures. A little bit lower, a little bit higher, I have no clue. You're gonna have to wait until the summer of 2022 to find out. If you have lots of money, this is probably the blender you're gonna wanna get and wait for it, 'cause it's totally amazing. They've done a lot of new innovative features in their carafe specifically. So number one, this is easier to take the lid off than any other vacuum blender I've experienced. Most vacuum blenders, you gotta pull a little tab, even their old one, you gotta pull a tab to release the vacuum. And while you pull the tab, you gotta lift up to take the lid off, which can be stuck and quite hard. This has an automatic vacuum release because it is built in to the top system that automatically lifts up when you're done. So to remove this lid, you literally just hold it and you come to this little clip, you unclip it, you pull it up, and the lid comes off as easy as a standard traditional blender. So this is totally amazing. Now the other thing they've done, they have an asynchronous bottom on here, so you get better agitation and better blending of the ingredients inside the carafe. In addition, they've now gone to a wing blade. This is made famous by like the Blendtec company, and it's actually fairly sharp, so I look forward to testing this to see actually the fineness and how fine it will really chop things up, because that's really important to me, as well as a lot of you guys out there that have reported me that you don't like blenders that just kind of tend to beat things up. and not so much cut them up. Now another cool feature is that they have these 5 pre-programmed buttons that you guys can program to any program you would like. You know, they have some presets that you can set them to. And currently the button number 5 is set to show you guys a demonstration of blending with the sound enclosure closed or open, and it will do this automatically without me touching anything. So we're just gonna go ahead and press the button number 5. Look at that, the cover closes automatically, it's blending. You could barely hear that running. You could see it, now you could hear the difference and see the difference when the blender is open or when it's closed. So it's pretty quiet when it's closed. That is the effectiveness of the sound enclosure, and it's gonna raise up here in a couple seconds. Isn't that really cool? The blender top opens and closes on its own without you having to do anything. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get to use actually this vacuum blender. I think for the first time, because I haven't even used it before, I'm gonna make myself a smoothie here at Kuvings. So this unit may look a little bit intimidating to use when you first get it, but it is really not that hard. You got all these different buttons here, and the main ones you're gonna wanna notice are number 1, you have this button on the end. That's to turn the vacuum on and off. Sometimes you don't want a blender or vacuum. For me, I just want this button stuck on all the time because I basically do not blend if it's not under vacuum. The other button here is the automatic closure and opener for the lid, for this sound enclosure lid. So if it's unlit, you'll have to manually open and close it, and if it's lit, it'll automatically open for you without you having to touch anything. While there are 5 buttons here to control it, you also have this quick start button right on the top that literally you can fill everything up in there, tap this button, and it'll automatically close the cover, vacuum if you have the button selected, and blend on the number 1 program so that you don't have to do anything. This is absolutely the easiest blender to use in the world that even a kid could do because it's all automatic. You don't even gotta close the lid. That's so crazy. So now I wanna show you guys how to make an anti-oxidation smoothie in the CB1000 commercial automatic vacuum blender. This is the first time I'm using this guy. So once again, we got is basically some coconut water. So we're just gonna basically put a bunch of coconut water there in the bottom of the carafe. I got about 16 ounces worth. Next, my favorite thing for a green smoothie is the bananas. So I love bananas. Bananas are a great sweet fruit to eat, to add to smoothies. They add a nice texture. If you want even a better texture, you could use frozen bananas. So we're gonna dump in a couple bananas in here. Next, we're gonna add our greens. Leafy greens are some of the most important nutritious foods on the entire planet, and most Americans, unfortunately, do not eat enough leafy green vegetables. My goal is to eat 2 pounds of leafy greens a day, and I can do that easily through juicing, making things like smoothies, and even eating nice large salads. And I want you guys to increase the amount of greens you eat, and a vacuum blender is a perfect appliance to do it, because the vacuum blending will allow you to break down even the stems in the greens without the oxidation, so it tastes better, and you're gonna get a better uptake of the nutrients than just chewing them alone, and a better nutrients than cooking them that can reduce nutrients in your food. So we got 2 handfuls of kale in there, and of course, Popeye loved his spinach, and so do I, so we're gonna go ahead and put in 2 handfuls of spinach. Now this is the amazing part about the Kuvings. We're gonna go ahead and put on the lid, snaps in, and now check this out, guys. I'm gonna press 1 button, I'm gonna walk away, and it's gonna automatically close, vacuum, and this has the fastest vacuum pump I've seen on a vacuum blender. Now I do need to test this to see, you know, how good of a vacuum pump it is, but it literally vacuums within 15 seconds. You guys know that, watch me, a lot of vacuum pumps might take 90 seconds or over a minute to pull a vacuum on the carafe. This one supposedly does it in 15. It starts to blend, it blends, and then the lid comes up and you're done. So watch this, 1 touch button right here, press this, I don't have to do nothing else. It vacuums, vacuuming. Now look, it's already starting to mix it up to get some of the extra air bubbles out. This is still in the vacuum. Now look, it's blending it up. You could barely hear this because it's in the sound enclosure, right? It's gonna blend it. It blends rather quickly, has nice sharp blades, nice texture. And check it out, it blended and I wasn't even here, and the lid opened up, and now I'm ready just to open up my smoothie, take it off, lift this up, the lid comes off nice and easily, no vacuum port to remove, and now I can pour my delicious green smoothie in my cup. And let's check this out. That is delicious, so stay tuned. I'll be hopefully getting a sample of one of these guys pretty soon, testing it to the maximum and making sure it's a solid machine. And I look forward to this release in the summer of 2022. And of course that may be delayed due to shipping issues. So now these next products I want to show you guys at Kuvings are like prototypes. These may or may not come out. They're still in development, but they're showing them here at Kuvings to get people's reactions. And Kuvings would like your reaction. What color do you like better? Do you guys like the red color or the silver color? And more importantly, they got different locking mechanisms, if you notice on the top, and then the button on this is like right on the back on both of them, but this is kind of more angled. It's got a little bit of chrome on there. Basically, both these machines are the same. The motor body shape is different. And this is the AIO 300 or AIO 350 model, depending on the motor shape. They're basically both the same machine. And these are the world's first 3.2-inch wide feed chute horizontal auger juicers that have like the flip gate, so you could dump in whole apples, carrots, and things like celery is going to juice great in this, so that could make juicing things like tomatoes more convenient. You don't have to chop like big piece of watermelon up as small. And of course they have a funnel so that you could feed smaller things in like cherry tomatoes or grapes relatively easy. Now I'll tell you guys that the horizontal juicers are not optimal in my opinion for juicing fruits. They can be problematic with fruits. So Kuvings is refining this to ensure that it's going to give you guys the best performance. One of the ways they're doing this is by having different screens with different durometers on the little silicone here that keeps some back pressure before the pulp comes out, but that's kind of advanced knowledge. You guys don't really need to know that at this point. But they also will have a blank plate, so they have a coarse screen with bigger holes to get more pulp in your juice or for the fruits, and then they have the processing screen for making things like nut butters and sorbets. Other than that, they got, you know, just the standard drum on here, and they got the standard juicing screen, and then they got the nice long auger. I really love the shape of this auger. It's longer than other juicers, so there may be more processing time to extract higher yields. I don't know, because I haven't used either of these two machines that are shown at the show yet. I had a very early production prototype that I'm not going to comment on. So yeah, that's pretty much it. They're AIO. This may come out in 2023, maybe after that. Maybe it'll never come out. I don't know. We'll have to see. Hopefully they get this refined. But I like to show you guys all the new products so you guys can be aware of them. So now I'm going to show you guys the cutest Kuvings juicer I've ever seen. This is the KCJ300. Once again, this is a prototype stage. May or may not come out in the US. I'm not exactly sure at this point. And unlike all other small, compact juicers that are made in China, this one is actually made in the Kuvings factory in Korea. So I really like that about Kuvings. It's a Korean-made juicer and it has some great innovations I haven't seen on other juicers that's going to be at this price point. Once again, pricing has not been announced or anything like that, and they're still, once again, in development. But I like the tall, compact glasses that are basically, or plastic catch cups that are nesting. So this would be like the perfect travel juicer. In addition, this will also have a blank so you could process things like frozen fruit sorbets, and also a coarse screen to make things like fruit juices and smoothies. On this guy, probably one of the things I would say is I would try to increase the feed chute size. The feed chute's actually a little bit small for me, but it's a small juicer, so it can't accept a lot at one time. Let's go ahead and pull out the screen first. So the screen, I like this screen for some reasons and don't like it for other reasons. I like it because there's actually minimal screen area, which means there'll be less for you to clean, but at the same time, less screen area potentially means less yield in your juice, where they could easily fill in some additional screen holes on some of these sections on the side, or maybe even in the back or along the bottom. That'd be my recommendation. Of course, look at this little tiny auger. This tiny auger is really cool. I really like the design of this auger. It basically kind of has these semi-cutting blades and a nice processing area to grind up the produce, and a little undercut in the bottom to keep it clean that's nice and large. And of course you have your little juicing bowl. This is where the innovation is. I really love this juicing bowl. Number one, they have that spout cap that is seen on other juicers. But number two, they have an easy clean port on the pulp outlet, and I hope they bring this to all their other Kuvings models, because this is truly revolutionary and the best design for this style that I've seen. Because literally all you do on this, let me show you this close, you literally pull this lever out and then it drops down. A lot of other juicers that use this kind of technology where you want to open the bottom up have a little clip that you have to pull off, and I've broken that clip actually. So I really love the design of this unit that literally you just pull out, drop down, super easy to get in there and clean. This is especially important if you're cleaning your juicers in a hotel room like I am. So that's all I got here at the Kuvings booth for this year. They have some amazing products. What do you guys think about the products? Comment down below. I'm really looking forward to testing in person the Revo and that all new automatic vacuum blender. I'm really actually excited more about the vacuum blender than the Revo, but I better understand the Revo now and the design and what they've put into this machine to really make it to the next level of their current evolution of whole slow juicers with that larger feed chute, improved durability and motor torque, and that pre-cutting of the celery. I look forward to doing testing like with this against some of the horizontal augers that will juice the celery, and I definitely look forward to some of the future testing I'll be doing with the Kuvings professional vacuum blender, automatic with sound enclosure. This might even replace my current vacuum blender in my kitchen. It's just so neat that it has those automatic features, but once again, that guy will be pricey. So if you guys want to learn about these when they come out, make sure you click that subscribe button right down below so you don't miss out on my new and upcoming episodes. You'll get notified as my new videos come out. Make sure you click the little bells so you get notified, and I'll be having videos on these guys as soon as they're available, and you'll be seeing them here first on my Discount Juicers channel. Next, I want to share with you guys a really cool booth. It's the booth of AIO Interpack, and it's a Korean company. They currently do not yet have distribution in the US, and I hope they do because their product is completely amazing. I met them several years ago at a trade show, and they had their pre-production model that they were showing, and I was really excited about it then, and I'm still excited about it now because they are revolutionizing vacuum blending, taking vacuum blending to the next level, which is, I think, is very important to do. Their product is like no other, and so I want to share with you guys their Unbalanced Vacuum Blender, and there's nothing like this. This is kind of similar to a cross between a vacuum blender and a vacuum food processor that nobody's making up to this point. So let me show you guys the AIO Unbalanced Vacuum Blender. So now I want to show you guys the best product that I like at the Inspired Home Show, because this is truly new and different and can take vacuum processing your food literally to the next level, right? You guys are familiar with the standard blender, right? They have a problem with cavitation, however you pronounce that. I'm not a big English major. But anyways, what happens in a standard blender is if you just like put in peanuts, for example, you try to like put the peanuts and blend it, they stick to the side, there's an air pocket. So some companies have come up with a solution for the air pockets, and you got to use a tamper. Now the problem with using a tamper is you cannot use a tamper when you're processing things under vacuum, because you can't pull a vacuum if there's a hole in the top, right? So this is a very inefficient method of processing your food, because number one, you have to get involved. You have to push the stuff in to make it work, plus you're grinding things in a traditional atmospheric oxygen environment, oxidizing your food more than anything else in the world, in my personal opinion. So I've never been a fan of using a tamper, and that's where the Unbalanced blender comes in. With the Unbalanced technology, they unbalance the load so that it blends easily without your input. You can literally start this blender up, you can walk away, it'll process all your food so that you don't have to use a stupid tamper. Yes, I'm gonna call it a stupid tamper. So let me show you guys how this works. We're gonna go ahead and open this up. You just press this button. This is their 2000 model. And on the top here, number one, you have this little lid here that you just pull off. This is the vacuum seal lid. You have an inner lid that you can then pull out. And this is their apparatus inside here in your container. Now there are a few parts to this. Number one, there's the blade, and actually it is quite sharp, so you want to be careful when you pull it out. This is really cool. There's a little handle on the top, and this is actually magnetic, so once you put it in there, it kind of just pulls itself in there and will stick to where it needs to go. So that's really nice, the blade assembly. Now this is where the magic happens in the AIO Unbalanced Vacuum Blender. Literally, look at this. They have two parts, so they not only have just the standard bowl here, but they also have the unbalanced part. So what happens is you put this unbalanced part in there, then you put the blade in there, and as this is running, right, the blade is running one direction, and the unbalanced part, you can see that, is spinning the other direction. So I'm spinning that manually, spinning the unbalance, and then the blade. So these are two independent motors that are running at different ways. So instead of everything running the same way, this unbalance is causing things that don't have enough liquid that you can't normally blend in a standard blender to fold in to the blade so that you could blend without any issue. This will be perfect for the style of juicing I like to do now, which is called vacuum juicing, because under vacuum juicing you cannot do juicing under vacuum because you don't have enough water content, because I don't like to add water to my juices. But this is the ideal solution for doing vacuum juicing, so blending in the unbalance so you could blend thick ingredients that wouldn't normally be able to blend without enough liquid in other vacuum blenders. You could also do dry ingredients, right? Making nut butters, this is probably the best way on the planet to make nut butters. Why? Because number one, you don't have to do any tamping. Number two, it's being done under vacuum for you so that you do not have to worry about the oxidation, the rancidity to the fats, and especially if you're processing fruits and vegetables, you will preserve more of the beneficial polyphenols and air-sensitive nutrients, right? Assembly on this is very simple. We're just gonna go ahead and drop this in, lock it in place. We're gonna go ahead and put the inner top on, the outer top on, line it up to the top, and snap it down, and we are all ready to use. It beeps to let you know. There are automatic pre-programmed functions on the top that I'm not quite familiar with, because this is like the second time I'm seeing this machine, plus an automatic dial so that you can control the unit automatically. I have this unit set up for celery, so I want to show you guys this maybe up close. We're just going to go ahead and press one button, and you can hear the vacuum pump comes on. It's sucking a vacuum, sucking all the excess oxygen out of the container, so that now you are processing your food in a vacuum-deprived environment. A lot of you guys, this may be a new concept for, but I mean, as you guys saw a little bit earlier in this video, Kuvings has a vacuum blender, and I'm a big promoter of vacuum blenders, but this is truly a hybrid like vacuum blender slash food processor, because it allows you to process things you can't process in a standard vacuum blender. All right, once it pulls the vacuum, then it starts to automatically blend. If you look closely, the outside spinner is automatically spinning it every once in a while to keep things unbalanced, and then the inside blade is louder, and you hear that running more often. As you guys can see, no water was added to process the celery. The celery is being ground up and processed with ease and convenience without you having to tamp it or anything else. They didn't even cut it super small like I like to do in standard traditional vacuum blenders. So it'll stop automatically once it's done, or if you want to stop the process earlier, you could press the button to have it stop at any point you desire. And we're going to go ahead and pull this out and show you guys the results. All right, so let's go ahead and take this off, and look at this. Straight up celery, first top, second top, and this is the part you'll need to clean, right? Super simple, super easy. And look at this, we have like literally a liquid celery right in there, all vacuum blended, high quality celery, ready for you to drink. So this could be like baby food, or I would strain this out in a nut milk bag, you know, to just leave some of the fiber left behind and extract all the delicious, rich goodness of the juice. And that is the AIO Unbalance Vacuum Blender. Hopefully this comes into the United States. I'll be the first to know if it does. So make sure you click that subscribe button right down below and click the notification bell so you get notified as soon as I have a video on it, if it is going to be imported in the United States. And also leave some comments down below. What did you think of the AIO vacuum blender? So now I'm here at the booth of the Vitaclay, and this is the healthiest cookware on earth. Up till now, I haven't really ever included any kind of heating products to heat process your food at discount juicers. This is gonna be my first product, and it's my first product for a very important reason. This is the cooker that's the healthiest on earth, because number one, you're not using any metals, and number two, it does it at the lowest temperature possible to heat your food, and in some cases, it'll even keep it at a raw food temperature from 105 to 115. So let's learn about the amazing, organic, smart multi-cooker that will change your life and heat process your food in the best way possible. So this is the Vitaclay Smart Organic Multi-Cooker. It has many different functions, including a slow cooker, a rice cooker, steamer, plus bonus yogurt maker. Of course, you could also use it to cook beans and any vegetables or other plant-based foods that you want. Of course, many people also heat process meats and make bone broths in here. I'm gonna stick to the plant foods because to me, the plant foods are the healthiest foods on the entire planet. Now, as you guys know, I'm really into preserving the most amount of nutrients in my food depending on the way I process. So that's why I teach you guys about slow juicers instead of high-speed juicers. I teach you guys about vacuum blenders instead of traditional blending. And now I'm teaching you guys about the multi-cooker that has the lowest and gentlest heat setting than any other cooker. Unlike a stove that you could crank up to 450 degrees, fry your food, burn your food, create carcinogens, the cooking in this is even lower than a pressure cooker such as an Instant Pot. The temperature of this is like 40 degrees lower than an Instant Pot, yet this also has other benefits besides just the lowered cooking temperature, like cooking in real natural clay. There's no metals in this. It's an unglazed clay. There's no chemical additives to the clay. There's no aluminum, no lead, and no non-stick coatings on the clay. So this is like the most natural way to cook that they've been cooking in clay since ancient times. Actually, that was probably one of the first ways to cook food was in clay, because they didn't have metal way back in the olden days. And they're still cooking in clay in some parts of China today. And that's actually where some of this clay comes from. It's some of the ancient deposits of clay that they make the unglazed clay pot that you now get to cook in, that can also enhance the flavors. Because the clay is an alkaline substance, it will enhance the flavors of your food, especially things like tomatoes and acidic things. In addition, because it enhances the flavor of the foods, you don't have to use any kind of oil or salts, and this is naturally non-stick provided you don't run out of water. I will primarily be using this cooker as a steamer myself, but the most popular use of this cooker is for slow cooking, and this works up to 500%, and that's actually about 4 times faster than a traditional slow cooker, but it will also save you electricity and power. So let's go ahead and get this out and show you guys more about the Smart Organic Multi-Cooker. So there are many features in this Smart Organic Multi-Cooker built into the computer program. You can set it to start and automatically cook your food later. So if you go to work in the morning, you could have it all ready and set up to go, and you could say, I want to have it start in 8 hours from now, so when I get home, I'm gonna have a ready cooked meal to eat. Maybe you could set up to make oatmeal or porridge before you go to bed, and you could have it turn on right before you get up, so that when you get up, your porridge or oatmeal is ready to eat. In addition, you can also make yogurt, and the yogurt setting is a setting I'm gonna probably use a lot, because now you don't have to put your yogurt in a metal container like many yogurt makers. You could put it in the clay pot inside, and the temperature will be set between 105 to 115. You could also use this function for sprouting beans much faster, because when beans or other seeds are heated up warmer, they sprout faster. So that's actually a secret I do to sprout my buckwheat in just a day rather than several days that it normally takes. Now, aside from just the programming, and there's like 7 different programs you can use, and I still gotta get familiar with them, the main thing to me is the ceramic pot. This is a sealed chamber, and unlike other cookers on the market that might be cooking in a ceramic pot, it may be open to the top with like a metal lid. This has a clay lid on the top, so that's really good. And then the next thing is, this is where the magic happens. This may like, some of you guys might think this is like, looks like a rice cooker, and yes, you could absolutely use this for cooking rice or beans. It'll enhance the flavor of your rice and beans over stainless steel. And most people use stainless steel, but many people don't know that even stainless steel can leach metals into your food. Like inexpensive stainless steel could leach nickel into your food. The clay will never contaminate your food with anything, and this is naturally non-stick. Now, one of the downsides of this, unlike stainless steel, is that this will break. It is fragile, so you have to take care when using these. Of course, replacement parts are available should you break it. But yeah, this the clay also is a better insulator. And I mean, they have clay-fired pizza ovens, right? Clay is also a better insulator than stainless steel, so it retains the heat longer and more evenly distributes the heat, so that when you cook and heat your food, the heat is retained more effectively in the container, so your foods can cook faster compared to like a stainless steel that does not, or an aluminum that's even worse at distributing the heat. So the way I'll be using this, I'll probably just be putting a little bit of water in at the bottom, and then putting a little steamer tray on top, and then just steaming my food. So I'm gonna have to test to see how long this takes compared to my current Instant Pot. I like that this runs at a lot lower temperature than an Instant Pot, and that there's no metal coming in contact with my food when using this cooking method, because literally you fill it all up in here, you put the lid on, you put it in there, press a couple buttons, and you're off and cooking. Super simple, super easy, fully automatic, so that you don't have to babysit your cooker. You can have the healthiest food that you've never made with a smart organic multi-cooker. So if you guys want to learn more about the smart organic multi-cooker, be sure to click that subscribe button right down below, because I'm going to be getting a sample one. I'll be using it a lot in my own personal kitchen to test it out, and I'll be making comparison videos comparing this to like an Instant Pot, and you know, my experiences with the multi-cooker. I'm really looking forward to using this product, because, you know, as somebody that had come from eating a, you know, unprocessed raw foods diet, heat processing my food is new. I don't eat a lot of heat processed food at this time, but if you are going to heat process your food, I encourage you guys to use the best method to heat process your food. And at this point in time, I'm going to have to say the Vitaclay Smart Organic Multi-Cooker is it. I'll hopefully also be selling this product very soon. Link down below if you guys want to buy one of these, because I've already added it to the website so that you guys can purchase it now on discountjuicers.com, although I would encourage you guys to wait for some of my demos, because I got to learn about this product, because it's just a new product for me, although I've seen this company at the trade show many years and even stopped by on prior years to talk to them. The trade show is officially over, but what I want to share with you guys is actually how Santa has gone out of their way to provide good customer service to me, their customer, and also reaffirming their commitment to you, their customer, as well. Who I had the longest meeting with at the show. We discussed many different topics, including how important it is for Santa and the customer service, and how they basically have the highest level of customer service in the whole juicing industry. It's amazing. I mean, Santa can get back to you faster than I can get back to you, and that's pretty impressive right there. And they handle all the challenges that I've seen quickly and efficiently to get you guys back juicing. And even to show me that, they're like, John, we want to let you borrow a juicer so that you could juice in your hotel room, so that you don't have to go without your juice, because we know it's so important to you. I'm like, wow, these guys are really cool. Santa just basically got one here for me, so that I can be juicing and continue my juicing regime in my hotel room. So I got to give them a big thumbs up and a big props for that. And of course, you know, the Santa 727 is a new juicer introduced at the end of last year. It is the best horizontal single auger juicer that we sell at discountjuicers.com. It performs the best of all the horizontal single auger juicers that I compared it to in the videos to date. And the reason why I like it is because the BLDC brushless DC motor. Now, I'm not going to fib you guys. This machine is a high-end juicer. Not everybody's going to buy the high-end juicer, but if you guys want the best horizontal slow juicer, I could definitely say the Santa is it. I'll put some links down below to some videos I've made with the Santa 727, comparing it to other models. And actually, you know, through our discussions with the Santa president, we went over many things, including new developments and potential new products that may be coming out from Santa USA in the future, as well as learning more about some of the challenges that some customers have had and how they have been resolved. So one issue that I learned about that I want to share with you guys now, because I was just informed of it myself, and this never happened to me, but it could happen to you guys. On the end of this little cap, there's a little like, looks like a little rubber band, a little round silicone rubber band, right? If you push this really hard, you can actually get this spinner blade to come out, which I've actually never done. You might want to remove this maybe once every couple months to clean it. And what happens is this little spinner blade comes off. There's a little recess in the stainless steel, and what that does, it holds this little rubber grommet, or actually silicone grommet, in place so that the spinner does not come out. I didn't even know this was removable until he told me, but with some of the challenges, some people take this apart all the time to clean. I've never taken this apart to clean mine. I just blast water through there and it cleans up really good. But should you take it off, or should it break on you, right, you don't even got to contact Santa. Santa has thought in advance to preemptively provide you the best customer service, because they include an extra one with the juicer as it comes to you. And this is something that I didn't even know. So let me show you guys this. So if you flip over the bottom of the juicer, right, in the bottom there's the motor, right? Here's the motor, here's a round part on the motor. In the middle of the motor, where all these holes are, if you see there's like a little gray bushing, it's a little peg that holds this extra bushing. So if you should lose yours, it's already on here. I don't know any other juicer company that includes like extra parts purposely on the machine, you know, that for the juicing operation. A couple other companies offer like spare fuses, but this is really cool. So to get this part out, you need like a little maybe a chopstick, or I'm using a little pen here, so you could flick that up and carefully take it off. And look at that, now you have one of those extra little bushings to keep your spinner blade on. So should you lose it, should it come off accidentally, you have a spare one so you can keep up in juicing. And that's what's most important to Santa. Santa knows that many people juice for their health, and actually that's probably the #1 reason to buy the Santa over other horizontal single auger juicers. Based on my testing, link below to the celery video I've made, running at a 40 RPMs, you create a higher quality juice than any other horizontal auger juicer. In addition, in many cases, it'll also be higher quality juice than a vertical auger juicer, because vertical augers tend to put a lot of air into the juice. Also, the Santa 727 is a much better grinder than some of the other vertical juicers I've tested in the past, which means it's going to blow open more cell walls, and especially with this secondary step with this little spinner here, cuts up the produce and extracts further juice than most juicers that just spit out the pulp. Now the other thing that's really cool about Santa that I also want to share with you guys real quick, besides just being a juicer and a homogenizer, being able to make frozen fruit sorbets, and it includes a coarse screen for making more texture in your juices if you want more pulp or if you're going to juice fruits. They also have as an additional accessory the oil extractor that I want to show you guys. I haven't used this yet. I'm going to soon make videos on it. I've been so busy running to different trade shows and traveling a lot, I haven't had time, but it's up on the top of my list to make some videos showing how I make my own flax seed oil, cold press flax seed oil with no additional heat added. So it's the highest quality oil you guys can make at home from flax seeds and other select high oil content seeds and nuts. Once they've been, you know, ground up, it'll work great on that. So this is an option for you guys to make your own small quantities of cold press oils. This is not meant for like if you have a business selling oil or something, but if you want to make, you know, a cup or two or here and there, this is the item that you need. Yeah, and I'll have videos on that coming up soon. So once again, click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and make sure you click the bell so you get notified as my videos come out when I make more videos about the Santa or the other products that you have seen in this episode. I'm really excited about some of those products. I got actually a suitcase full of samples that I need to take back, and I'll be testing those guys out to make sure they're solid and bulletproof before I start to offer them at discountjuicers.com. The best way to learn about them, once again, hit that subscribe button, and also while you're at it, I want to encourage you guys to thumb this video up. If you guys appreciated this video where I go out of my way to make a video for you guys, share with you guys all the latest and greatest technology that may not even be out yet or is coming out soon and may not even ever come out, please thumb this video up. That'll encourage me to do more videos like this. Also, please be sure to share this with other people in the juicing industry, other people that juice, other people that want to buy the healthiest appliances to process more fruits and vegetables and other plant foods so that they could get healthier as well, because that's what I am all about. Also, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you click the bell notification so you get notified as my new videos come out every 5 to 7 days, and hopefully one of these days some of the products that I share in this video will be coming out and available, and I'll be here first to review them and share them with you guys. So finally, be sure to check my past episodes. My past episodes are a wealth of knowledge, over 600 episodes on this YouTube channel dedicated to you guys all about the best appliances to process more fruits and vegetables and other plant foods so that you can eat healthier and live healthier and meet all your weight loss and health goals. So with that, my name is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Links down below to the products that we do sell currently at DiscountJuicers.com that are featured in this episode if you're interested in any of those. And make sure you visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors.